In the heart of suburban America, where manicured lawns and white picket fences are the norms, lived Alex and Jordan, a couple that seemed to have leaped right out of a fairy tale. Their love story was one that many envied, a bond that appeared unbreakable, a connection so deep it was as if they were made for each other. Alex, a high school teacher, and Jordan, a budding architect, met during a summer festival in the small town of Willow Creek. It was love at first sight. The kind of love that poets write about and musicians sing of. Their days were filled with laughter, their nights with whispered dreams and shared secrets. Life with Jordan was everything Alex had ever hoped for. They celebrated anniversaries with candlelit dinners, spent weekends exploring quaint little towns, and their holidays were always an adventure. Friends and family looked to them as the perfect couple, the benchmark of a loving, committed relationship. But as we all know, life has a way of surprising us. Behind the perfect smiles and the Instagram-worthy moments, there are truths we hide, even from ourselves. And for Alex, that truth was about to come crashing down in a way they never saw coming. It started with small things. Jordan working late more often, their phone buzzing at odd hours of the night, unexplained charges on credit card statements. But trust, that unshakable trust Alex had in Jordan, blinded them to the signs that were slowly unraveling the tapestry of their perfect life. Then came that fateful day. A day like any other, or so it seemed. But in the mundane routine of life, Alex found something that shattered their world into a million pieces. A receipt. A simple piece of paper that held the power to unravel everything they believed about their life, their love, their Jordan. As the sun set on Willow Creek that evening, so did it set on a life Alex knew. The perfect life they had built, the love they thought was unbreakable, was now a fragile house of cards, trembling in the wake of a storm that was about to hit. And this was just the beginning. The beginning of a journey through the deepest corners of the heart, a journey of betrayal, pain, and ultimately, the quest for truth. As the leaves turned golden in the quaint town of Willow Creek, a subtle change began to weave its way into Alex and Jordan's picture-perfect life. It was like a whisper in the wind, easy to miss unless you were listening closely. And Alex, ever so trusting and in love, was not listening. Jordan, who once rushed home to spend evenings with Alex, now found reasons to stay late at work. Big project, tight deadlines, they would say, their voice a melody of exhaustion and apology. Alex, supportive as ever, would smile and prepare dinner for one, their heart aching but still full of understanding. It wasn't just the late nights. Jordan's phone, which once lay around carelessly, was now always within reach, guarded like a treasure chest, holding secrets too precious to share. Texts in the middle of the night, calls taken in hushed tones in another room. The pieces of a puzzle Alex wasn't yet ready to put together. Friends began to notice, their words of concern wrapped in hushed whispers. "Do you think everything is okay with Jordan?" they would ask. "You know, people change, secrets emerge." But Alex, with unwavering faith in the love they shared, brushed these concerns aside. "Jordan loves me," they would say. "We're just going through a busy phase." But love, as blinding as it can be, cannot forever mask the truth. And in the quiet moments of the night, as Alex lay in bed waiting for Jordan, doubts began to creep in. The kind of doubts that are silent but heavy, like shadows in a room just out of reach of the light. Unexplained absences, excuses that didn't quite add up, moments of disconnect. They all began to form a cloud of uncertainty over Alex's heart. Yet, in the depth of their love, they chose to see only the sun, ignoring the gathering storm. In every story, there comes a moment when the veil of illusion starts to lift. For Alex, that moment was drawing near, a moment that would start the unraveling of a tapestry woven with love, trust, and the innocence of not knowing the painful truth that lay hidden in plain sight. The crisp autumn air in Willow Creek carried a sense of change, but for Alex, the change that was about to come was nothing they could have ever prepared for. It was an ordinary evening, one like any other, except it wasn't. It was the evening that would turn Alex's world upside down. Jordan had been more distant lately, their smiles fewer, their touches fleeting. Alex, in a bid to rekindle the warmth they missed, decided to surprise Jordan with a special dinner. But fate had a different plan. As they reached for a recipe book on the high shelf, Jordan's phone, perched precariously on the edge, tumbled down. In that split second, as Alex caught the phone, a message flashed across the screen. "Can't wait to see you again." It read, signed with the heart emoji. A name Alex didn't recognize. A message that didn't make sense. Or did it? The world seemed to stop spinning for Alex. The phone in her hand felt like a burning coal, the words on the screen searing into their mind. Questions raced through their head, each more painful than the last. Was Jordan seeing someone else? How long had this been going on? Why? Denial came first, a desperate attempt to rationalize what they saw. It must be a mistake, Alex thought. Maybe it's just a friend. But deep down, they knew. The late nights, the secret calls, the guarded behavior, it all made a cruel kind of sense now. Shock gave way to a sense of betrayal so profound it took Alex's breath away. The person they loved, the person they trusted more than anyone else in the world, had shattered that trust into a million pieces. The pain was palpable, a physical ache in their heart that wouldn't subside. In the quiet of their home, surrounded by memories of a love that now felt tainted, Alex grappled with the reality of the situation. The perfect life they thought they had, the future they had envisioned together, was now tainted with lies and deception. As the night drew in, Alex sat alone, the remnants of the surprise dinner untouched. The discovery of the affair was just the beginning, the first crack in the facade of their once perfect life. And as they sat there, lost in a sea of emotions, one thing became clear: nothing would ever be the same again. The dawn in Willow Creek brought no solace to Alex. The night had been long, a carousal of emotions spinning wildly in their mind. As the morning light crept through the curtains, it brought with it a resolve. Alex knew what he had to do. The truth, however painful, needed to be faced. Jordan returned home, oblivious to the storm that was brewing. As she stepped through the door, the air was thick with unspoken words. Alex, heart pounding, confronted Jordan with a message. "Who is this?" he asked, his voice a mix of anger and hurt. Jordan froze, the color draining from her face. The silence was deafening. Then came the confession, the words tumbling out in a torrent of guilt and fear. Jordan admitted to the affair, her voice trembling with the weight of her betrayal. Alex listened, each word from Jordan like a dagger to his heart. "It didn't mean anything," Jordan pleaded. "I was confused, lost." But the excuses sounded hollow, the justifications empty. The trust that had been the foundation of their relationship was now in ruins. Anger, hurt, disbelief. Alex was caught in a whirlwind of emotions. The person he had shared their dreams with, built his life around, had become a stranger. How could you? Alex asked, the question more than just about the affair. It was about the love he thought was unbreakable, the promises he believed were unshakable. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in as the reality of the situation settled around them. Jordan reached out, a gesture of remorse, but Alex recoiled. The touch that once brought comfort now only brought pain. As Jordan tried to explain, to offer some semblance of reasoning, Alex realized that some things, once broken, can't be mended. The confession, far from bringing closure, only opened a Pandora's box of questions and doubts. The confrontation ended not with a resolution, but with a chasm between them wider than ever. Alex, surrounded by the shattered pieces of their relationship, was left to ponder the unimaginable. A future without Jordan. A future where everything he knew and loved was irrevocably changed. In the wake of the confrontation, Alex found himself navigating a world he no longer recognized. The home he shared with Jordan, once a sanctuary of love and comfort, now echoed with the silence of betrayal. Sleepless nights became the norm, each tick of the clock a reminder of the chasm in his heart. Alex's mind became a battlefield of questions with no answers. Why did this happen? Was our love ever real? Could I have done something differently? The questions circled endlessly, each one a sharp jab to an already wounded soul. Friends, once a source of joy and laughter, now became Alex's lifeline. They listened as Alex poured out his heart, his words a mix of confusion and grief. But even in the warmth of their company, Alex felt a loneliness that seemed to seep into his very bones. In search of answers, or perhaps just a respite from the pain, Alex turned to a therapist named Emma. Sitting in a room that promised confidentiality and understanding, Alex began to peel back the layers of his emotions with Emma. It was a journey through the darkest parts of his heart, a journey that required facing truths he had long avoided. Through the sessions with Emma, Alex began to confront not just the pain of the betrayal, but also his own self-worth. He grappled with the realization that his happiness had become so intertwined with Jordan that he had lost sight of who he was as an individual. Emma's office became a place where Alex could lay bare his vulnerabilities, his fears, and his hopes for the future. And in this journey, Alex found a new yet compassionate friend, Emma. It was a slow process, one step at a time, but with each session with Emma, Alex started to see a glimmer of the person he used to be, the person he could be again. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Alex's journey through pain began to transform. It was no longer just about the betrayal or the loss of the relationship. It was about rediscovering himself, about building a future where his worth wasn't defined by someone else's actions. The aftermath of the affair was a journey through pain, but it was also a journey of healing. Alex, once lost in the shadow of betrayal, was slowly stepping into the light of self-discovery, newfound strength, and above all an unconditional warmth of pure friendship and compassion with his therapist, Emma. As the seasons changed in Willow Creek, so too did Alex. The journey through the dark tunnel of betrayal and pain was long and arduous, but a faint light had begun to appear, signaling the way to healing and self-discovery. Alex, once enveloped in the shadows of despair, started to embrace his vulnerability as a source of strength. He realized that healing wasn't just about moving past the pain, but also about growing from it. It was in this spirit of growth that Alex took his first step towards a new beginning. Following the advice of her newfound friend and therapist, Emma, Alex joined a support group of the local community. Joining this support group became a turning point for Alex. Surrounded by others who shared similar stories of heartache and betrayal, Alex no longer felt alone in his struggle. Each meeting, each shared story, was a step towards understanding and acceptance. Alongside the support group, Alex rediscovered old passions and explored new interests. He took up painting, a hobby he had long neglected, finding solace in the strokes of the brush and the colors on the canvas. Each painting became a reflection of his journey, from turmoil to tranquility. Alex also found peace in nature, taking long walks with Emma through the trails of Willow Creek. The rustling leaves, the gentle streams, and candid yet profound conversations with Emma became companions in his journey of healing. With every step, Alex felt a little more of the weight lifting from his shoulders, a little more of the fog clearing from his mind. It was during these walks that Alex began to reflect on his own self-worth, independent of his relationship with Jordan. He started to see himself not just as someone who had been betrayed, but as someone capable of overcoming adversity, someone deserving of happiness. Through these activities and conversations with Emma and the support of friends and strangers alike, Alex began to rebuild himself. It wasn't just about healing from the affair anymore. It was about creating a life where he was the author of his own story, where his worth wasn't tied to someone else's choices. As the chapter of pain slowly closed, a new chapter began for Alex. A chapter filled with hope, strength, and the promise of a future where he could be whole again, not despite the betrayal, but because of the strength he found in its aftermath. In the heart of Willow Creek, amidst the changing seasons, Alex stood at a crossroads. The journey of healing had brought them to a crucial juncture, a decision point that would define his path forward. It was a decision not just about his relationship with Jordan, but about his own future, his own identity. But the climax of Alex and Jordan's love story was yet to unravel. Jordan had reached out, seeking forgiveness, hoping to mend what had been broken. She spoke of change, of understanding, of a love that still lingered in the shadows of their shared past. But for Alex, the decision was not about Jordan's desires or promises. It was about what Alex needed, what Alex deserved. Forgiveness, Alex realized, was not a gift to Jordan, but a gift to himself, a release from the chains of anger and bitterness. But forgiving did not necessarily mean forgetting, nor did it mean rekindling a relationship that had lost its foundation of trust. Alex pondered deeply, reflecting on the emotional growth and resilience he had gained. He thought about the nights spent in turmoil, the days filled with self-discovery, the moments of newfound strength and warmth of friendships. Could he rebuild a relationship with Jordan, or was it time to turn the page and start a new chapter? In the quiet of his heart, Alex listened to the whispers of his soul. He thought about what it meant to truly love, not just another person, but himself. The decision lay heavy on his heart, but it was a weight he was now ready to carry. And so, Alex made his choice. A choice that was deeply personal, a choice that was a testament to his journey. Whether it was to give Jordan a chance to rebuild what was lost or to step into a future alone, the decision was made with a clarity and a strength that had been forged in the fires of his trials. This decision was not an end, but a beginning. A beginning of a life where Alex was no longer defined by the betrayal he had experienced, but by the resilience and self-love he had cultivated. It was a step towards a future where he could be true to himself, to his needs, and most importantly, to his heart. As the sun set over Willow Creek, Alex stood tall, a person transformed not just by the pain of the past, but by the promise of the future. And in that moment, he knew, no matter what the decision was, he would be okay. He was more than okay. He was strong, he was whole, he was home. As dawn's light bathed Willow Creek in a golden hue, Alex stood at the crossroads of his life, the weight of his decision palpable in the crisp morning air. Contemplating deeply, he realized, in the heart's deepest silence, we hear the loudest answers. The path before him, whether to forgive Jordan and rebuild his shattered love, or to venture forth on a new journey alone, or perhaps with Emma, who had become his beacon in the storm, was shrouded in the mystery of his own heart. In these pivotal moments, an unexpected twist emerged. A mysterious envelope, unmarked yet ominous, appeared at Alex's doorstep. Its silent arrival promised revelations that could pivot the direction of his journey. As Alex's hand, trembling with a mix of fear and anticipation, broke the seal of the envelope, he thought, "Our lives are but stories, and every chapter, dark or light, shapes our tale." The world seemed to pause in anticipation. The envelope opened, revealing secrets yet untold, and then, leaving a haunting silence filled with unanswered questions. What truths lay hidden within the envelope? How would its contents impact the turbulent currents of Alex's life? And what if Alex chooses to move on and marry Emma? Could this decision ignite a spark of revenge in Jordan? This episode concludes here, leaving a tapestry of possibilities, each thread inviting you, our viewers, to ponder the future of Alex's story. The truth is, the tale of Alex, Jordan, and Emma is yet far from its conclusion. The next episode, which will be uploaded on this channel on next Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, promises to peel back the layers of a story that captures the essence of the human heart. But in the meantime, we want to hear your thoughts and predictions. What do you believe will unfold in the next episode? Share your theories in the comments, and if you've been captivated by our tale, please subscribe to our channel, Live Well, for more intriguing stories. Stay tuned as the saga of the shadows of lost love, unraveling ties of passion and betrayal continues. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.